And I just saw a very nice video from Luigi Chinetti, or Coco, as he's better known, about the 1974 Can-Am race at Watkins Glen. Well, what happened was it was a double header. So it was Formula 5000, which was my main thing in those days. I'd started in 73, and in 74 Can-Am was pretty well dead. It was the last year for it. There were only two good cars in the Can-Am field. The Shadows cars driven by George Follmer and Jackie Oliver. Anyway, Saturday afternoon, Coco comes rushing up to me and he says, Brian, would you like to drive the 712 Ferrari in this heat race, which is about to start? So I said, well, there's no way they'll let me start. I've not practiced. No, it's okay. So he then said, how much do you want? And I said, $2,000, please. And he said, sorry, old chap, can't manage that. Make it 1,000. So that was agreed on. I get in the car. There's 5 minutes to go. And a journalist rushes up to me and says, Brian, what are you doing in that thing? I said, well, Sam Posey, who was the regular driver, hurt his leg. He says, do you know how he hurt his leg? I said, no. He said, when the brakes failed yesterday, his foot hit the bulkhead so hard that he broke a bone in his foot. I said, oh. So I call Coco over. There's like 2 minutes to go. Coco, what's this about the brakes failing yesterday? Yes, Brian, didn't I tell you? I said, no, you did not. He said, well, we had experimental brake fluid, and now it's got the good stuff in. It'll be okay. So off we go. And I actually finished up second, to George Follmer. The car was very fast on the straight. The handling and brakes weren't great, but it's doing like 180 on the Watkins Glen straight. No chicane in those days. The next day is the final Can-Am race and the final for the Formula 5000. And my chief mechanic from Chaparral, Franz Weiss, he comes and looks at the Ferrari. And he looked round and he says, Brian, what the hell are you doing driving this piece of shit? So off we go. Well, about halfway through, I'm lying second to George Follmer, and I'm about halfway down the straight. Probably a good job I wasn't any further down the straight, and there's a bit of a bang, and the suspension broke at the back, and I have a pretty wild ride. But because it had broken halfway down the straight and not at the end, I managed to get away with it. So that was the story on the dreaded 1974 712 Ferrari, entered by North American racing teams and managed by the inimitable Coco Chinetti.